ensembles that are hit, so like percussive. And if you're talking about Bali, it's a collection or an ensemble of a minimum of 2 instruments. So you don't play gamelan by yourself. You have at least a pair of instruments. It's about playing music with other people. Gamelan is an exquisite acoustic sound. So particularly in Bali, it's a vibration. So it can be a slow vibration or a fast vibration. But that vibration has an effect on your, maybe on your psyche or like on your mind. Yeah, there's an effect on your mind which can, I think, positively affect your body as well.
Karena ini merupakan warisan, memang artinya gamelan ini jenis sakral. Semoga ini nanti generasi yang ke depan bisa melanjutkan mewarisi apa yang sudah diwariskan oleh nenek moyang ini biar tetap lestari.
Karena yang sekarang anak-anak megang gamelan ini kan kalau dulu pakai gini tut gitu sana.
Oh, jadi lebih ke tekniknya gitu ya?
Ya, tekniknya. Kalau zaman dulu kan gini, sekarang begini anaknya.
Jadi lebih ke teknik ya Kak ya?
Ya, teknik.
Kalau
gayanya sekarang orang itu kan mukul itu aja tangannya menari dia sebagai penari dia. Tukang gamelan kan bukan penari dia. Kalau zaman dulu tidak ada yang begitu. Sekarang lebih cepat. Di samping itu tidak lagu-lagunya itu sepertinya tidak karuan-karuan itulah. Sulit kita menerima itu.
jadi abstrak.
Ya. Terus pindah-pindah itu belum pasti kedengaran lagunya itu sudah pindah.
Oh, melodinya belum jelas.
Belum jelas kan gitu sekarang. Dulu kan enak didengar lagu dulu. Menurut saya itu
Bisa dibilang lebih melodis.
ya melodik apa namanya. Kalau lagu-lagu sekarang terus terang aja saya sekarang bisa bikin lagu itu. Tapi saya mengulang kembali tidak bisa.
Oh.
Sekarang tiap hari saya bisa bikin lagu begitu. Sulitnya tuh.
Iya.
Tapi saya mengulang tidak bisa terus terang aja. Begitulah.
Saya perhatikan kalau gendeng yang lama itu tahan lama ya Kak ya. Jadi kalau orang kasih ada generasinya akan dimainkan bisa 1 abad, 2 abad gitu ya. this is when he's written down. Now this is from his. These are milk cartons that he used. This milk he fed to his wife after she had a stroke. So he uses the milk. He kept the milk cartons in her memory, and he wrote the notation for the pieces onto the milk cartons. And then if you, for example, you ask for a copy of this, he wouldn't photocopy. He would write it out again. For me, it's not just about reviving the old ways of playing, but it's also inspiring young people to use them in new compositions, and not just the actual instrument, but also the way, maybe the old way of playing it, or modify the way of playing it so that they use it in a different way or something like that. I mean, it's up to them. But it's just that knowledge that can be passed on, and then that can inspire them. Yeah. So this is where I make the instruments. I think because I wasn't born in a Balinese village, is that I don't have my own village-centric perspective. So I don't, for example, I don't sort of believe that the gamelan in my village is unique to my village, for example. I could have been born in a village where they have a very sacred gamelan set or something, and because of the elders saying it's very sacred and only our village have it, then I'd believe that. But elders in villages that they might say, oh, you know, because the gamelan's very sacred, you shouldn't, if you learn it, you've got to keep learning it for your whole life, otherwise if you stop learning it, you might get sick. There's some beliefs like that. At a practice, for example, if you get angry at the practice with another musician, don't throw the instrument at them or something like that, because it can make you sick. And so people believe that the instruments have spirits in them, and that they can actually cause mischief or cause harm or cause disease, sickness, yeah. And so, and that could put young people off, because they're like, oh, I'd rather just play a guitar, because it's not going to, like, come back to haunt me, and, you know, if I throw it on the ground or something. As a researcher, you've got to be able to, if that's a spiritual risk, then I've just got to take that spiritual risk, because I've got to find out, you know, more about the orchestra, but without disrespecting it. So if in one village they say, oh, please, you're not allowed a video or something, then I'll have to respect that. These instruments myself, and I make them out of metal, out of iron, that one day are going to be a tuning library. So that part of it, I hope there'll be, you know, 100 instruments one day, but I've got about 20 or 30 around the place. There's some of them. And when I say tuning library, it's not something that's a website where you can just listen to the tuning, but you can actually pick up the instrument and hit the tuning. Say, I'm from such and such a village, do you have that tuning in an instrument? And I can say, oh yeah, it happened to be in a Dutch book from 1924 or something like that. And then, so I've got a little label here. For example, this one's got the name of the orchestra, Semara, and it says Punah, which means extinct. And this used to be a very famous orchestra that was recorded in 1928. And so I reconstructed it from this researcher's notes, Colin McPhee. They're very different from here. So the people from this village can come here and say, oh, do you have my tuning? And I say, well, yeah, it's here. And so they can request the tuning, and then they could reconstruct the orchestra that was melted down, you know, in the 1960s. In the old days, they would have had 8 people working together to make one key a day or something like that. This is all I can do on my own. Because the point is that these are practice instruments, or these are instruments for the library, so people get an idea of what it sounds like. So in Bali, there's no A440 like we have in the West. There's no standard. So it's however the tuner's ears were, or the synthesist's ears were, or maybe the person who ordered it, 500 years ago said, I want a little bit like this, or something. We don't really know, no ethnomusicologists, as far as I know how these tunings developed. Yeah, so they're really quite indigenous, particularly indigenous to Indonesia. But then in Bali has its own sort of slant on the tunings that maybe came from Java, 1,000 years ago or so.